Testing. Testing. 1, 2. Test.
Rosemount, the Irish, getting a good start, good battle. Ball's been ball's been on both sides of the field already tonight. I'm without my partner Jeremy Goltz tonight, which is unfortunate. We had a great week last week in the booth for a busy grit week for the Lakers schedule. 4 games last week. We got 3 this week. Rosemount tonight. Montemita on Saturday, and a big Thursday matchup against Apple Valley. Another another opponent in our conference. Looks like we had timeout by Rosemount. Big alumni night and a PLAY night Thursday. Home game for the Lakers. So we're hoping for a big crowd. Hopefully a big alumni turnout. Spread the word there. And a slow start to this game. Still 0-0, just under 10 minutes left. Rosemount calling an early timeout, trying to save the possession. It's been back and forth early this game, and no real possession contained. Looking back at the last Prior Lake game, Benilde, it was long possessions for both teams, and it was a great game. Great game. Went to overtime. We had a couple overtime losses for the Lakers this year so far, which has been tough, but a bunch of great performances early this year, a bunch of great opponents. But now the rest of the schedule is going to be mostly conference play, as we see tonight against the Rosemount Irish. And early pressure in this ride causes a turnover for the Lake. And whistles are flying. Not sure why. But we're back in action. Still Prior Lake ball as they work it around. Looks like they have some of their offensive guys out there. And no subbing looks like will take place. So and Connor Miller going to the rack and just beats his. I thought it was a goal, but it looks like they might have called crease. So goal taken away. Rosemount on the clear as they move past the midfield line and work it around. Must have called a crease violation. No, I do not. If a player goes into the crease that is not on the defensive side of the ball or the goalie, other team's ball, it's not allowed. And that's why we saw that goal taken away there. Connor Miller with a great dodge. Just not allowed to do that. So Prior Lake back on D. Early flag flown. A hold on Connor Miller. That was a good poke check, a good V hold. Not sure what the ref saw there. Prior Lake on the penalty kill early in this game. And we've seen earlier, or last week, we saw them get really aggressive, playing behind the net. They're not afraid to be man down and get aggressive. So let's see how they react tonight. And if we see that same sort of aggressiveness. And it looks like they are. Rosemount with a great look. Big save by Colin Nauertz in cage. And a battle for the ground ball. Won by Rosemount. With Luke Blato running in from the midfield. We are even. Outside shot by number 18. Backed up by Rosemount. Still Rosemount's ball. With the low scoring affairs, we looked to the JV team earlier. They had a nice battle against Rosemount, a nice win, 3-2. So another very low scoring game. Defense has been great across a lot of the top teams. Eden Prairie having a lot of low scoring games. Prior Lake and Benilde as well. Mishandled pass by Rosemount. He's going to put Prior Lake on the clear, and it looks like it's going to start with number 26, Luke Blato. He works it back to his defenseman, Trent Harubin. And they're going to swing it through to the other side of the field and hit that subbing midi. Looks to be that speedster, Charlie Jewell. He's quick on the dodge on the offense, and he's quick on this clear. And they want Luke Blado on offense. So they're going to get Sauter off. And that looks to be the only sub that they're going to work through. Prior Lake works the ball around. Prior Lake with a little pick play. The pass backside, we saw a high cross check. Let's see what they call. Looked like maybe an elbow call. I saw a cross check. I could have seen something different, but 1 minute penalty by Rosemount. It's going to put Prior Lake on the power play. A nice look by Will Gilbert. 6.5 minutes left in this first quarter. Still 0-0. Like both teams still kind of feeling each other out. Both teams have had a couple good looks, but none in the back of the net yet. Prior Lake hitting the pipes. Rosemount getting aggressive. That middle guy working up and down the middle of the field, covering crease, covering top middle. Skip pass from the backside from Jung to Blado to Gilbert. Outside shot, bouncer. Goes over the net. Backed up by Riley Baczynski. Here's that flip play we've seen earlier last week. Not a clean look right away, but Jung gets a second, kind of steps back, re-engages, and gets an outside shot. And Ben Jung with the first goal of the game.
Scoring for the Lakers, number 9, Benjamin Jung.
All right, second face-off of the game. Prior Lake up 1-0. You see Bester going at it. And Prior Lake started last week double pulling these face-offs. 2 long pulls, 1 on each wing. And Kahlberg and Gratz have been the popular choices. And we continue to see that today. Bester with a nice win. Rosemount's face-off guy, Wesley Dean, going against Bester tonight. And Prior Lake on the offense. Connor Miller getting aggressive. He already has a penalty today. He has a called off goal. So he's faced some early adversity. Nathan Whittier on this dodge, drawing a slide and swinging it. We got a good look here. Blade on the sweep. He doesn't like his shot. Re-dodges, though. Gets a nice look wide. Backed up by Riley Baczynski. Connor Miller has been buzzing. Hasn't gotten a break yet. Riley Baczynski, little two-man. With Jack Smith, gets tied up, though. Looked like a push. Kind of a, mishandled pass. Rosemount looking to flip the field and go from the other side. Mishandled. That's going to put Prior Lake back on the offense. Number 3, Alex Jacobson. It seems like he's getting more and more playing time each game. He's a junior. He played JV last year, but getting quite a bit of varsity time this year. Luke Blade on the attack. Another look. He's had a few. It's his birthday today. He was the big shout out on the Laker Twitter. Happy birthday to Luke. He turns 18 today, the senior captain. And another two-man game with Riley Baczynski and Jack Smith. This time they use the pick, and Jack Smith just bounces away. Looks like we had a sub going on. Jung's on the field. I think Miller came off for Jung. Jung's got another short stick matchup. Early slide, but he redodges. No easy look right away. I'm going to pull it out. Jung with the dish to Blado. A nice lift by number 27. Evan, I'm not sure what his last name is. Maybe Lilga. Got some help there from my video. Lilga with a great lift, great D. And Rosemount's on the clear. Couple passes puts them upfield as they should. Looks like they're going to get a successful clear. Prior Lake running a 10-man again tonight. For those who don't know what a 10-man is, typically the goalie will stay in net if it's a regular ride. When you're running a 10-man ride, you're going to get the goalie in on the action, and he'll typically guard one of the attackmen. This puts the risk of having an empty net, but allows you to, potentially cause more turnovers and cause, the other team to, have a couple more failed clears a game, which gives you more possessions on the offense. Prior Lake on the defense, getting aggressive, getting the hands early, and we get an over and back call on Rosemount. Prior Lake ball, they're going to push early. Mishandled pass. Sauter trying to connect with Burgraff. They're back on the ride. Number 19 for Rosemount. Jack Moran on the clear, gets his touch and works it around for the Irish. We've seen the Prior Lake defense get aggressive, causing turnovers, and looks like early we see that again. Getting the hands. Lucas Gratz now getting it on the ground. And almost another over and back, but Jack Moran with another big play this shift and saves it. Prior Lake doubling the ball, and I anticipate a slashing penalty. I think they might have nicked at the helmet of Jack Moran. And that's what the ref calls, a 1-minute penalty. And I'm not sure who that's going to be called on right away. Looks to be number 20, Sauter. Keaton Sauter. Brother of Colin Sauter. Year younger than me. Just graduated from the Ohio State University. Shout out to him. And congratulations. Hope to see him at Alumni Night later this week. And Prior Lake getting aggressive on this man down on this penalty kill early. And that forces Rosemount to kind of spread things out and get a little wider. But Rosemount working it around, gets a shot attempt, but a nugget by our own number 17, Brian Kahlberg, and gets many of those this season. Each game, he's getting aggressive, gets ground balls, gets nuggets. And Prior Lake finds a shorty, Connor Miller, hoping for him to leg it out, but they're running out of time. They're going to have to get it over, and they do. But picked off by number 10, Thomas Gallagher for the Fighting, not the Fighting Irish, but just the Irish. It's a great ride by the Irish. I didn't look back. It looks like their goalie's getting out of the cage. They might be running their own 10-man ride. I will confirm that for you the next time. It doesn't look to be like that, at least this time. Prior Lake with another mishandled clear, and that's going to be tough to keep defending time after time. It's going to wear our defense out, and looks like it might have bounced off a Prior Lake defenseman. So it's going to stay Rosemount ball, and that's the buzzer. Prior Lake 1, Rosemount 0. Not the cleanest quarter that we've seen. Covering some of these Prior Lake games so far, they seem to be a kind of a slow starting team, and a little slow tonight. Couple mishandled clears, called off goal, and but their defense again, a huge strength of theirs. They're causing turnovers. Huge save by Colin Nauertz, and the offense just needs to click. They've had a lot of low-scoring games, like the last game against Benilde. And we've seen that around the state with the top teams having low-scoring games. Good matchup so far. And we're back for the second quarter. Short commercial break. No sponsors, though. Still working on that. Eileen Cookies, we're still talking to them. We had a great cookie review last week. Maybe we can do another cookie review at home this Thursday. Not sure of any cookie shops around here, but I know the Prior Lake parents went over to Kelts for a little pregame gathering, and I heard good reviews. Rosemount with their own face-off win, number 8 this time. I think number 12, if I remember correctly. It's like Palazzo for the Irish with a win, and he almost had some green grass in front of him. And we are playing on grass tonight. I know I've been saying green grass, and we've been playing on turf. Tonight it is grass, and not all of it's green. And Rosemount on the attack, they're working it around. Prior Lake seemed to have some confusion. Riley Bester stays out there. Number 7 with the shot. Luke Majewski. And wow! So another 10-man ride look. So Prior Lake and Rosemount are mixing in that 10-man ride. And like I said earlier, that goalie gets out and guards an attackman. And when you do that, you're hoping to cause a lot, get more pressure on the ball carrier, but you're giving up that open net. And like we saw there, that allowed Trenton Harubin for a look at the net. He saw it, he shot it, and he scored it. And it's always fun to see a long pull get a goal. They're usually not mentioned in the newspaper. They're shutting guys down, and but hey, maybe this week he'll land a spot in the newspaper for scoring that goal. That puts the Lakers up 2-0. 11 minutes left in the second quarter, and we got another face-off battle with Bester. And this time, we're back with Wesley Dean, and Bester had the better of it. Tushy with the ground ball, and Coach Methune for the Lakers with the timeout. So we see a little head-to-head. We saw Lakeville North and Prior Lake run the 10-man ride against each other. And now we see Rosemount trying to do that 10-man ride against the Lakers as well. It's becoming more and more popular. When I played, we didn't run it. And I don't think any high school teams that I played against ran it. In college, we ran it a little bit. Couple teams ran it against us, and you'll see that occasionally, more situational. But now some Minnesota high school teams adding it to their playbook. Prior Lake runs it as much as possible. I know North does as well. And we can add Rosemount to that list. If you're causing turnovers on the ride and causing the other team to fail clears, it's definitely worth it. If you get scored on once, I wouldn't shy away and shut it down right away. If it fails a few times, 2-3 times, maybe 4, that's when I would maybe change that look. But if you got the athletes and you can cover that, cover the field and cause that pressure, I would definitely stick in it, even if you get scored on with a look like that. Defensemen aren't always going to hit that look, but we've seen Thomas Newharth. He's hit a couple this year, and Trenton Harubin hitting his own look there, so that's pretty cool. Prior Lake coming out of this timeout. We'll see if they run a play or something. They found a short stick matchup with Luke Blado. He has a little sweep dodge, but nothing crazy here yet. Last game we've seen Prior Lake and Benil really attacking those short sticks, and early we've seen that again from Prior Lake. No easy looks right away. Another sweep dodge. Luke fading. Again, no easy look. As they continue swinging around and wait for a great look. And Luke to a nice, very nice back cut by Patrick Jewell. Luke Blado with the assist. Patrick Jewell with the finish. That's a great look. Again, Prior Lake really, being methodical on their offense, not forcing any quick looks, waiting for a great look. Not just taking a good look. And with their patience, they were rewarded. Prior Lake up 3-0. Still early in the second quarter. And Buster back to the face-off for us. He's been grinding it out. And he's been taking almost every single face-off now with Joey Bernard being out currently. He got injured earlier this season. Colin Tucci with a look wide. No backup, though, so that's going to give Rosemount the possession, put them on the clear. Good hustle play by number 9, their goaltender, Landon Marigold. And one pass over, and Longpole is looking to work up the field for the Irish. Another bounce shot. Samuel Johnson for the Irish. Goes high. But they have backup, so still Rosemount's ball. And a high pass picked up by the Lakers, so they're on the offense. Again, that goalie was out of the cage. I think Jack Smith saw it and almost pulled it, but decided not to. Didn't see any backup. So he saved the possession. And again, Prior Lake looking for that great look, not the first look. Prior Lake working that ball around. Nice little hitch by Gilbert. And a lefty shot going down the alley, hitting that far pipe. Puts the Lakers up 4-0. Will Gilbert had a big goal to tie up the game late in the fourth quarter against Benilde. Actually, I might have put them up 3-2. That was a righty bounce, kind of a sweep dodge. That one, a lefty alley dodge. So we're seeing more and more different, tools in his toolbox. So Will Gilbert starting to emerge, junior year here. Got a little varsity time as a sophomore, but now really solidifying himself as a player as a junior. Bester going to work. And we got a battle of GB here. I didn't see a possession called, so I don't know who that's going to there was no possession called, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not sure why people are running up. It looks like it's going to be Prior Lake ball. Brian Kahlberg, number 17 here on our side of the field, picking it up. And he saw pressure coming, so he rolls back, throws it back to Ruben, who had a nice goal earlier in this game. Ruben working it upfield, gets it to his attackman, and Prior Lake has some subs to get through. And they're calling yellow, but a defenseman got tripped up on the net. So Whittier with the look. I don't hate that look, even though they were calling yellow. He had a great look and a great lane to the net. Riley Baczynski and Whittier working the two-man game. Baczynski going to the net. Low shot. Looked to be maybe 5-hole. Goes in, and that's going to put Prior Lake up 5-0.
Scoring for the Lakers, number 45, Riley Baczynski.
Prior Lake earlier in this game, they've been working the two-man game and haven't gotten a clean look off of it. When I say two-man game, I mean, running a pick play behind the net. Prior Lake typically runs some sort of pick play off of the end line after we back up a shot or regain possession. And we see some sort of pick game typically every single time. Rosemount's been able to shut off any early looks off of that game, but Baczynski getting a lane to the net there and buries it. And big face-off, or a big ground ball picked up by Whittier. Battle of a face-off. Looked like Bester got tripped up, and they were going to give it to us anyways. That's going to put Prior Lake on the attack. We had a couple different middies this shift. Looks like Jacobson getting an offensive look, as is Miller getting another look on offense. And he gets a nice sweep. And one more to Jacobson. Jacobson reluctant to pull the trigger on that one. And he works it down the attack. But now he might have a look against a short stick D mid. He's going to dodge from the corner. Pushes it backside. We got a one more to Jung. Jung with the shot. Shot over the net. He was looking to go low to high. Little underhand shot. Changing the plane of his shot. And looks like they're going to call Whittier. Whittier might have stepped into the cage, I believe is what they're calling. And that's going to put Rosemount on the clear. And yes, a little double by Prior Lake. Jack Smith, I think, had that turnover. Chanhassen was his kind of coming out party. He had a couple big plays, especially on the ride, and the rest of the week we continued to see him riding hard, causing turnovers. A couple goals last week, couple assists, and we see him again, the sophomore, making plays, earning his role. Prior Lake needed some guys to step up, and he's one of them, getting called up from JV. He's a young player, making big plays, and here's another sophomore, Keaton Sauter on the dodge from the corner. Feed goes high and kind of wide from Baczynski and Rosemount with the pickup. And again, Colin Nauert's out of that cage. Prior Lake running that 10-man, and they get that long pull on long pull action. And Kahlberg causing trouble. And that's what you want. That's what you want on the ride. You want to get your long pull on their long pull carrying the ball up the field. That is the perfect scenario, because long pulls, right, there's more sticks to check. They're generally not as great with handling the ball, and that's where you can cause turnovers. And you saw that there a couple of times. Now, big hit by number 23. That's going to put him in the box. Austin Lentz. And it looks like just an illegal body check, I believe. That'll put him in the box for 1 minute. And that hit was on Connor Miller. He's a big boy. Doesn't go down easily. But I think he was caught off guard. going for kind of a ground ball, bouncing ball, and he was put on the ground. He was put on the ground, but I think he's okay, so that's good to see. And hopefully we get a good offensive look here. Prior Lake, we've seen a lot of a 3-3, but now we got a guy at X. We got Luke Blato at X. It looks like looking to feed. He's drawing guys, and they overcommit to him. Nice roll dodge, nice finish, little birthday goal for the kid. It's gonna put Prior Lake up 6-0. And that is confirmed. Luke Blato with the finish. Didn't hear an assist. Prior Lake typically will have all 6 of their guys in the man up above the cage. That time we saw Luke Blato behind the cage. They're running a little 2-3-1. Maybe they're working that on practice, giving the opposing defense a different look. And they went to him early, kind of overcommitted, and that allowed a easy look. This number 8 kid for Rosemount, Palazzo, he's been tying Bester up, but I think the wings for Prior Lake won that face-off. Jack Smith getting a lot of pressure. He bounces it to Baczynski, and they work it around as Prior Lake finishes up their subbing. And we got a junior line out there. Oh, no, Burgraff, sorry. Burgraff making his offensive appearance for the day. Baczynski getting a lot of pressure, and the ball goes out of bounds. Prior Lake still in that 10-man ride. Colin now it's out of the net. They're doubling this ball, and they get it over the midline. Colin runs quickly back into the net. Open guy, and that was tipped. Was that tipped? Are they going to rule that tipped? They rule it. Prior Lake ball. I thought it might have been tipped by Nowards, but I don't think it was. Refs didn't see it at least. Prior Lake ball in that far corner. Nowards starting to walk it up, and they get it to our side of the field now. Colin Tushy. Rosemount looking to get aggressive. Again, their goalie's out of the cage. They're in the 10-man. And it works for them as they cause a turnover in the middle of the field. Huge save by Colin Nowards. He's had a great game so far. And whistles are blowing. And they looks like interference on Prior Lake. I missed it. I think they maybe Tushy might have checked somebody in front of the net there, trying to help his goalie out. Colin Nowards with a huge save. He's had a couple today, has cleared the ball very well. Nowards really dialed in today so far. Prior Lake back on defense, though, as there's an interference call, giving the Irish the ball back. Prior Lake getting aggressive, and they cause another turnover as well. But again, Rosemount trying to get aggressive on this clear. And this pressure is causing Prior Lake to mess up now. They save it, but they're running out of time. They got to get it over this midline. Failure to advance is called. And Rosemount's looking to push it. No whistle was blown. Prior Lake needs to slow things down, settle down, maybe get a couple deep breaths early in the possession, and then get aggressive, and we can get this ball back, get a successful clear. Rosemount's trying to do exactly what we are doing to them, right? And 10-man, get in their face, cause turnovers. Good dodge by Rosemount. They get it to backside. Jack Moran on the dodge. Shot. Another save. Could have been a pipe, but I think it was a save by Nowards. And Colbert getting a lot of pressure. And another turnover. All right, Prior Lakes ball. We're on the clear. We need a successful clear here. Just deep breath. All right, find a shorty, and let's get it over the midline, get our touch, and love this ball on this possession. We got Jacobson here calling for the ball, trying to get open. Working down to the end of the clock. Oh, Kahlberg with a great look. He saw that the goalie was out of the cage and chucked it at the net. And Rosemount doesn't like that ball. Doesn't like that call, sorry. But maybe the ball doesn't lie. I thought it was a shot on net. Rosemount ball. They're trying to push early in this possession. And Prior Lake struggling to possess this ball, clear the ball. And I think Rosemount's rattling them. They're going hard at the cage here. But Prior Lake's defense bailing them out again. There might be a push call. And it is. Rosemount with the ball. Minute 30 left in this quarter, just under. And Prior Lake up 6-0, but Rosemount coming hard, giving them all they can right now as they find a short stick matchup that they might like. And they're just going to work it around. Good D-mid action by Patrick Jewell. He played great last week on the offensive side and the defensive side of the ball. They're going to try to expose him here. Great defense, Patty. Not giving them anything easy. Another look by Rosemount. Might have hit the side of the net and goes out of bounds, but they got the backup. 35 seconds left. Still Rosemount ball. They're dodging hard everywhere they can. High, low, wide. They're shooting. 20 seconds. And a blind double sent. And they get the ball on the ground. We got 10 seconds. We could get a quick look. Tushy shoots. Picked off by the goalie. He's going to send it down. And one last time, just kind of playing ping pong back and forth. Prior Lake there in the last 5 or so minutes. Probably not how they want to finish that quarter. They're up 6-0. So you look at the scoreboard and you'd think they'd be happy, but they had a few failed clears. I think Rosemount was starting to rattle them, and they're giving up a lot of chances to Rosemount's offense. So, Prior Lake really happy that half is over and that quarter is over. They can relax. They can settle down and, talk about everything. Prior Lake, again, with a balanced offense. We've seen goals from Baczynski, goal from Plato. I think Jung had one, too. So goals are coming from everywhere, as usual. But yeah, I think Prior Lake just wants to talk this out, slow things down, and really regroup and try not to have so many failed clears and force some of these looks. I was hoping for some visitors in the booth tonight as we have Jeremy Goltz out as he's coaching our youth. We have, is it the head coach?
Yes, sir.
Head coach of Lewis University. Nice to meet you. I know.
Hey, how are you?
Very good.
Joe Peruzzi, yeah, thanks for having me.
Sorry. Now his mic's on.
You good?
Yeah, you're on.
Yeah, Joe Peruzzi here from Lewis University. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I know we've got one of our players, one of our senior captains, Ben Jung, headed there next year, and I think a kid from Rosemount might be going as well.
We got two players from Rosemont, Luke Majewski, number 7 here, and Tommy Purefierce, number 4, as well as Ben Jung, number 9 for Prior Lake. So definitely excited about some of the recruiting ties and networking we've got going on here in the Minneapolis area.
Very cool. What have you seen from these Minnesota kids, and what are you looking forward to as you get these kids, and what are you trying to build, with Lewis, as I know they're a new Division II program for, some of our fans that, may not know who Lewis is. They're a new Division II program starting in 2019-2020 season.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us is there's so many talented players out here in the country now that you really kind of have your pick of the litter, so to speak. So for us, we want those kids that can play at a really high level, but we want the guys that come with, great character, great work ethic, guys that are going to get it done in the classroom. And I think we've found a lot of those guys up here in this area that really fit the mold with some of our academic programs, as well as, playing at a high level, but also being a great teammate and being the type of guy that you want to be around, So I think, obviously, we're really excited that all three of these guys we're watching here tonight really kind of fit that mold. So we're excited about that for sure.
Right on, right on. I know Ben Jung is going into he's going to become a pilot. I know that's a big program of Lewis. What are some of the other big programs that the school offers?
Yeah, we actually offer over 85 different majors, minors, and concentrations, so a really, really large pool there. So anything from, when we have guys coming from business management to computer science, education, physics, biochemistry, as long as aviation, that whole department. There's quite a few other programs there. It's unmanned systems. We have guys coming to learn to fly drones and stuff as well. So such a wide variety of different stuff you can study, as well as, having majors and minors. And that's kind of the beauty of Division II, is kind of being able to stack some of those courses and really get the most of what you want out of your education.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. What's kind of your coaching background? Where have you come from?
So prior to Lewis, I spent the last 3 seasons at Belmont Abbey College, Division II, down in just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. So as a defensive coordinator there, I believe we had about 40 wins in my 3 years there. So was fortunate to be a part of a winning culture and have a lot of success down there as a defensive coordinator and win a conference championship in Conference Carolinas. Prior to that, I spent some time at Ohio Wesleyan in the 2015 season with them, and was able to coach in Division III NCAA quarterfinal.
Yeah, they're a big-time D3 program, I believe.
Yeah, and that was, really kind of where a lot of the relationships I have in the Midwest, in Minneapolis, and in a lot of these cities kind of originated with some of my stints in the Midwest previous in my career. 2015 at Ohio Wesleyan. Very cool. 2014 at Kenyon College. So that was a big part of, being able to come back up to the Midwest, starting this thing at Lewis and having some really strong recruiting ties to the area.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, I see. It seems like every week I see a new kid, if it's from Egan or Prior Lake or Rosemount. It's like every week another guy's going to Lewis, So it's cool.
You love that.
Yeah,
you gotta love that.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome that another opportunity kind of closer to home. Not super close to home, but like closer to home, like other than out east,
Yeah.
Gives the guy, Illinois is not that far. So
no doubt. It's exciting, and I think that's, at this point we're going into another recruiting summer, and a lot of these guys are winding their seasons down and just finishing up, and I've been recruiting for 9-10 months now, so we're going to get through and really start to work on this 2020 class. But I'm just excited to hit the field with these guys in August and build this culture and really kind of try to build our own winning culture down there.
Right on. Good stuff. Love it. What have you thought of the game so far as you watch some of your recruits and other guys as well?
Yeah, I think it's a little one-sided here, but just a little bit of a run there in the second quarter kind of burst things open. So a little bit of sloppy play in the middle of the field. I think both teams maybe want to clean that up a little bit. I know Prior Lake, I believe, is a turf team playing here on grass. Yeah. There's a little bit of adjustments being made there, but I'll look for Rosemount to come out here and really try to make a statement in the third quarter and show that, they're not going to give up and kind of tighten this thing up, and we'll kind of see how Prior Lake responds.
Yeah, Prior Lake got soft since I graduated. We used to be a grass school, then I graduated, and they get the turf, and they get the new scoreboard and everything. So, it's cool. It's cool for them. But
right, you'll take it as it comes.
Yeah, it's getting back on the grass, and hopefully Too bad it's not raining. You know, can get a little mud game going.
Yeah, well, I guess that's coming later this week, so
Okay.
be careful what you wish for. But yeah, no, I think that you know, I think what do we got 6-0 here?
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, 6-0 here. I would be surprised if the game ended with that type of gap. I think they'll close this up a little bit, and we'll see if they can make it interesting.
Yeah. This 2020 class I know is going to be pretty good. At least Minnesota bound. I've heard other areas of the country as well. That's been I coached some club lacrosse, and that 2020 class seems to be deep and kind of special.
Yeah, I think that's really, you know, we know we're going to be spending a lot of time this summer looking at the 20s and really diving in deep there. So I think, you know, not having a team this year, we're really just trying to take advantage of, you know, opportunities that we're probably not going to have that often in the future, is seeing the high school game, building some of those relationships, getting a look at these guys and getting Lewis and what we're doing and what we're building on their radar now in the spring, kind of before a lot of these other schools come and play. So I think that's been really kind of the big thing for us, and just establishing ourselves. And again, I think we're getting some really high-end players that are high-character players from great areas.
Yeah.
So the word is kind of spreading for us, and I think that's just, you know, kind of a testament to our staff and just, you know, the type of kids our school attracts.
Yeah, here's Ted Spirides. I know you guys talked maybe on the phone or met in person.
Good to see you,
I'm
man.
not
How are
sure,
ya?
but yeah, maybe we can get him on the mic in a little bit. But yeah, I guess where are some of the other recruits coming from for you guys?
Honestly, it's kind of the cool thing about it. We have 14 different states represented on our roster. So some guys from the West Coast, California, Nevada, Arizona, pretty much all over the Midwest, Michigan, Minnesota, obviously, Ohio, Iowa, Nebraska, Missouri, Indiana. So that's been really cool. And we've also kind of gotten some hotbed areas with New York in the Buffalo area, Southern Maryland, and then, you know, kind of the big area we really kind of staked our claim in was out in British Columbia, having 7 players coming out from Canada. So a really wide variety of different places, different kids, public schools, private schools. But the thing I think I love the most about it is we've got 7 guys that have won a state championship, whether that be Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska, Arizona, Nevada. So I think just having that culture and having kind of that winning mindset coming into it, obviously we know it's not going to be easy, right? But I think just having that background and having played in big games, you know, having playing the best teams, having the best other players guarding you and things like that, I think it makes me feel good that, you know, we're going to come in and kind of have that competitive juice and kind of have that, you know, we expect to win, we expect to compete, and that's really what it's all about.
Right on. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we're getting going here. Third quarter. You guys gonna let me stay on for this?
Do you want to stay on, or do you want to go scout? You know, that's totally up to you. If you want to do some commentating with us, that's cool. If you got to do some scouting stuff, I totally understand.
The mic's plugged in. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Nothing right. We got a couple rosters here. Yeah. Well, let's jump into this.
I know a lot of these boys.
All right.
Already, so.
What do you think of the 10-man action we've seen? 10-man versus 10-man. I know.
Yeah. I did notice that right when you're coming in. You know, it's a coach's nightmare sometimes, but it's a goalie's dream. So these goalies are getting really aggressive out there, and I think obviously both coaches kind of trust their athleticism, not only bringing their goalies out of the cage, but, you know, just being able to press with their poles and cause a little chaos.
Oh yeah, it's been chaos in the middle of the field. You know, Prior Lake's been running the 10-man for a few years now. Didn't run it. Could have been because my senior goalie, you know, maybe a little unathletic. I can say that about him. He's one of my better friends.
There you go.
But no, he's a good guy. They've been running it since I graduated, pretty much. Lakeville North is another prominent school that's been running it. And it looks like add Rosemount to the mix.
Shorty on shorty there. Right in the open field. You got to love that if you're a defensive coach.
It's I don't know if you've been following a lot of the Minnesota scores. It's been super low scoring, and Rosemount on the board. Nice goal by Bennett Magnuson.
Yeah, the helper there from one of our own, Tommy Pierfurst.
Oh, there you go.
By number 4, Thomas Purpose.
Lewis guys making noise.
Gotta love that. Gotta love that. It's good to see them get on the board. Like I said, hoping to kind of come out of the break with that answer, and there they are right away, less than a minute in, and 6-1. They're chipping away at it.
Looks like you called it. I know we're a Laker nation, but it's cool. It's cool.
Hey, they're two good teams here. I
Oh,
just feel like that 6-goal margin is a little lopsided, and I think both these teams respect each other. I certainly don't expect Prior Lake to let up or anything like that, but Rosemount's got some fight left in him, so it'll be interesting to see.
Plenty of game left still. And Prior Lake trying to answer the bell, gain the momentum back. They get a good look back door. And I missed the call, but
They gave backup there to Rosemount.
oh, they gave back up there. Okay.
Fans don't love the call, but we'll take it.
I don't either, but Rosemount on the clear nonetheless. Pull-on-pull action.
Both teams been very, very aggressive in the ride here. Who's going to come away with it here? Those 50-50 balls, really, when you're trying to make a run and you're trying to gain momentum. Right here, you see Rosemount. Oh, no, they're going to. Yeah, you see Rosemount get possession there, that 50-50. Those are the plays you're looking for out of half. Give your guys a spark. Give your guys an extra possession. That stuff, I think, really is what you're looking for here to start this thing off.
Well, they've gotten their goal. They've got a couple big GBs, and now they get their possession. So Prior Lake back on the D. Rosemount pushing early. They get a good look.
Yeah, starting to generate a lot of help there, and guys are open, guys are moving, and I like that they're going in early offense with their pole still on the field. Prior Lake not necessarily set up there.
What do you think of the long pole goal earlier this game?
Yeah, you got to love that. I mean, when you're getting those to fall, typically it's a pretty good offensive day, and you got to feel good about that. Those are kind of ones you don't expect to get as a coach, so you'll take that as a bonus, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. And I don't think you'd recruit, a long pole for, scoring goals necessarily, but, seeing the college game, I've seen it in high school this year. You probably see at least one long pole goal a game now.
I think in this day and age, you're really looking for it more as a coach. I think with the shot clock and just the ability to push transition and pace,
Yeah.
Everybody wants to play fast. So I think that coaches are looking for a little bit more, and sometimes they're finding those, converted short sticks that are athletes and putting the pole in their hands when they're getting to college.
Yeah.
Because those guys can shoot and those guys can run the field. So I think you're looking for it more a little bit in the college game.
And Rosemount with a good possession here. They're working around.
Here we go again.
They bury one.
Tommy Purefierce.
That's your guy. That's your guy. 1-1
I
this
put the
quarter.
headset on. He goes 1-1. I'm never leaving.
Dude, we got to get you out of here. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
Prior Lake fans are probably done with me.
This Perfest kid, I coached him a couple summers. He was in middle school, so it was a while ago. But he was a great player then, and obviously still a great player now. He's got 1 goal, 1 assist.
Yeah, I think he's really versatile. He can go left, he can go right, he can feed, he can finish. His head's always up, and I think he gets the goal there. But I think we've seen a couple times, he's drawing the attention and getting his teammates involved, and I think that's really, showcases his IQ and his ability to just kind of see the field.
Yeah, totally. And number 8 for Rosemount, Palazzo. We've said his name a few times today with another face-off win. He's given Bester a run for his money.
And again, this is what you're talking about. Those 50-50 balls, those face-offs. We get another possession here. All right, now it's down 6-2. The gap's starting to close here, and I think if you're Prior Lake here, you're really just looking to dig in, get a stand, kind of get the ball on offense and calm down a little bit. But we'll see if Rosemount can keep them on their heels a little bit here and keep attacking.
Well, and Rosemount's got the
There we
momentum.
go again.
And they're running with it.
And that's Tommy Purefierce again.
Hey, just. I'm going to.
Yeah,
Hey,
we'll take it.
Lewis has got to love it. So.
He's just really active off the ball, turning the corner there. I think Prior Lake adjacent hedging a little bit there, And I think they may have needed to go, but they didn't get that cross crease help down for the next step in the rotation there, and he just kind of sees that crease and steps upfield like what you want your attackman to be doing there.
Well, and like you said, two hands, right? He scored his first one lefty.
Right.
And that one, it looked like the same play, but just on the other side of the field.
And that's
going right.
tough when you're a coach and you know that. It really makes you have to understand that backside help has got to get down, because it's not just he can get us on this side. You know that really either side they're pushing, either side you're sliding and helping. He's front swinging there, and you've got to have that additional help all the way down the backside.
Prior Lake finally getting that 50-50 ball that we've been talking about with the face-off win. Rosemount sending the dogs, though.
That's a great timeout.
Yeah.
I really like that timeout. Let's settle things down a little bit. Let's slow things down a little bit. We got the ball. Let's stop the bleeding a little bit. I really like that one a lot.
Prior Lake only up 6-3 now, and they're going to have the ball at about their 55 or 45, sorry. And
yeah, I think just looking to get a good possession here. You're getting to rest your D a little bit here and kind of regroup for these 2 minutes, but just get a good possession. Maybe draw something up here, getting one of your guys in their sweet spot. But no shot clock here in the high school game, so no need to rush it. Rosemont's starting to get comfortable, starting to figure things out down there. Nothing wrong with holding the ball a little bit here and finding a great look, one that you really, really like, and maybe letting Rosemount cool off a little bit.
yeah, I think they were doing that earlier. Lately, no. I think if you're Rosemount as a D coordinator, I'd be like, hey, send the dogs. Let's hammer them right now.
Yeah, I think you want to be careful with that. I definitely think you want to toe that line between over aggressive and doing a little too much.
Okay.
But you want to slide when you need to. Be physical. Assert your dominance, but at the same time, it would be great. I'm sure Prior Lake would love a flag down, get their man up on the field, stretch this thing back to 4, and that's about worst case scenario for Rosemount. So you want to be aggressive, but under control here, and looks like they're going to start with the double right off the ride here.
Rosemount's got to love this spot. I thought it'd be on the other side of the 50.
Yeah, they called that timeout a little earlier, I guess.
It looks like earlier than we thought originally. Nice one more look by Jung. That'll get it up to Thomas, and they get their touch. Prior Lake, they've been attacking the shorties. Earlier this game, they did a ton last week. They look to do so again here.
Way to get underneath. Nice S dodge. Puts him on his back there, gets under, but a really, really nice save. I believe that's Landon Marigold here there in cage for Rosemount.
Yeah, he's a great keep.
The lefty.
Yeah, he a little southpaw action. Yeah, that was a great. Rosemount was slow to go there. They didn't want to slide, but.
Yeah, if you notice the way Rosemont's playing them defensively, they're really, really packed in. So they're getting those jams late. There's not a lot open in the middle, not a lot of seams there. So, if you're Prior Lake, you really kind of got to go to work on your guy. And that's a nice slippery dodge there, close to the cage, and he gets underneath and gets a quality look. But again, a big save, and here we go, Rosemount again.
Saves the over and back.
Yeah, it was a close one.
So how do you like the new college rules with the crease dive and the shot clock?
I think as a defensive coach, I'm still scratching my head on some of the crease dive stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Flag down Prior Lake here, and Rosemont's going to go man up. Yeah, I'm still scratching my head at the crease dive a little bit just because I think everybody wants a little bit more clarity. I love the excitement. I love what it brings to the game. I just think that we've seen it called a couple different ways, and obviously for coaches that's frustrating. But I love that, the pace, the tempo, the ability to potentially play some more guys. I think the face-offs are even more critical because you're seeing a lot more possessions. But I like the rules personally, and I'm excited, kind of having to sit this year out.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get going with them next year. I've obviously been watching a lot.
Do you think they'll make any adjustments after one year with those new rules?
I hope not.
Yeah.
I think there's some talks about replay. There's some talks about the 2-point arc and stuff, and I hope that's not the case.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we're too quick to react, and we don't necessarily let it play out and see how it really works yet. But we'll see. Again, another really aggressive ride. Couple slashes get exchanged there, and I think they're going to get Rosemount here. That's number 1, Tyler Olson.
Yeah, they gave him a slash. So that's going to put him temporarily 5-on-5. Prayer Lake will have a short man up afterwards. Prayer Lake still up 6-3, 6 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah, we haven't seen much from Prior Lake this half. I think that, slow to start. We're 6 minutes in here. Again, they got a good possession here, a good opportunity. Let's see what they can do with it.
Yeah, they need something. They need to get the momentum back. They've been taking punches.
See what I mean? Like, they're not engaging very high out. They're kind of letting them come to them. Look how compact the defense is.
Yeah.
Everyone's tight. And if you're going to try to force that, that's what I'm saying. You know, they got those passing lanes covered up, and we're looking to get up and out here. Rosemount possession. And
yeah, it seemed like an unnecessary force. Like, even if you got that through, I didn't see much.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
So really risky over the head check there, but he lands it at GLE, and then somebody just kind of gets cleaned up there after the play.
Yeah,
I think we're going to stay Rosemount here.
Lucas Gratz, I'm honestly surprised with Minnesota refs that wasn't a flag. It's kind of a late hit, but as a D guy myself as well, I'm cool with laying some body there, but maybe they'll think twice about going to the cage hard like that.
Looks like we're setting up in the invert here.
I don't see anyone taking a knee now, so are we 6-on-6?
Yeah, we're sixes.
And we are. It's either a push or crease. It's one or the other.
And that's number 4 again. Are we going to count that? It looks like it.
Refs are talking. I saw a flag fly, so you'd think that'd be a goal, but that's kind of that crease dive look. You never know what the refs are
I think that I didn't see a diving motion there. It looks like he had 2 feet down, caught it and released it in the field of play, and took a shot in the back there. That's just my opinion. It's pretty bang play. We'll see what they call here. I think that one's got to stand. If it doesn't stand, you're getting the flag. But they go no goal on this, huh?
So no goal.
But they go. Looks like they're going to go man up here.
Yep, 30-second push. It looks like. So we're still 6-3, but Rosemount on the power play for 30 seconds. But like you're saying, your guy, Thomas, in on that play, causing havoc, making noise.
Yeah, good to see him distributing the ball, being active off ball, and it's definitely some talented players around him. I feel like Rosemount was a little tight in that first half. It seems like they're a little bit more, just a little free right now. Not afraid to throw the ball in some tight windows. Not afraid to make that extra one more, and not afraid to step in and be a little more physical with some of their dodges. And we see 3 goals early here. It's starting to pay off for them.
Yeah. And a tip play was tipped off a Prior Lake defenseman, so that's why it's still
It's a good call there by
ball.
the official.
Yep. And Prior Lake's 6th guy running in, so we're going to be even here shortly. Jack Moran on the dodge, feet inside, trying to find Thomas in on the crease. And they haven't pointed. I believe that was a pass, so unless it was tipped, but
getting another flag here, it looks like. Oh, and then maybe another one on top of that.
Oh, I missed that.
So it looks like they got him for the initial slash, and then they're going to get a conduct foul on the coach there.
Okay.
So Rosemount's going to go man up here. Looks like they're 2 men up.
Interesting.
This is where it's tough as a coach because, you know, how much do you really practice 2 men down? You know, how comfortable are you with your rotations?
You gotta be
Everything
quick.
just seems so much tighter, and there we go, and that's our man, Thomas Purefirst again.
Yep.
Front swinging to the right hand there. And it's just hard, you know, with one less guy out there, you're just a little bit tighter. Everybody's a little bit closer to the cage, and just sometimes, you know, you can do the best you can. You can do everything right, and you're still going to be a step late there, and Rosemount makes him pay.
So with that goal, we're back to 6-on-6 as both penalties are released. Prior Lake, no momentum this half so far. They need something. They need a possession. They need a look. They need a goal. Anything to get, you know, to stop the bleeding here.
Yeah, I think if you're the coach here, and man, we see right, loose ball here. Rosemount had possession, but it's still loose. Up in the air.
Out.
And I think that's we're gonna keep it here with Prior Lake. Yeah, I think if you're Coach Bethune right now, you're really kind of looking at your seniors. You're looking at the guys that, you know, have carried you in years past, and, you know, you're saying, hey, we don't need a home run right now. We just got to hit a single.
Yep.
You know, somebody make the first play, pick up the first ground ball, draw the first slide, you know, get the first good take, and just kind of build off of that. And I think if you do that, eventually you'll see something fall, or you'll see some looks that you like, you know. So I think it's sometimes in these moments, you know, you're on a 4-goal run deficit here, and you're kind of thinking, okay, let me go make a play, when really, as a coach, you're kind of telling these guys, hey, let's just keep it simple and hit a single and see what happens.
Patty Jewell on the dodge. He drags the short stick behind. Well, 2-man game. And a muffed pass. Let's see if...
I like what they're doing there with the big little and then swinging it up top. But a loose ball, Rosemount just blows it up.
Yep. And we almost got a long pole goal there, but couldn't contain it.
That's going to stay Rosemount.
I think it is going to, yep.
And I really like some of the stuff. I really like what Prior Lake was trying to do there offensively with the big little coming right off that screen, distributing the ball. You know, you only got 4 guys above the cage when you do that, and they just a simple kind of adjacent pass there tips off. And credit to Rosemount, they've been aggressive. You know, the ball hits the ground, and they've been all over it, and they kind of blow that play up, and they get rewarded here with another possession.
Ben Jung, another Lewis commit, stuck on defense. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, usually he holds his own. He's been, you know, he's an athlete. I think he can cover these guys just fine. And
yeah, he's really athletic. We love his change of direction and his explosiveness, and you know, I think it's good for these guys to be playing both ways at this level, because I think more coaches are trying to do that at the next level, is play their midfielders both ways.
Jack Moran with a nice face dodge, gets a good look for Rosemount. Another nice save by Colin Nauertz. He's had a pretty good night.
It's a really nice take, man. He does a really nice job protecting his stick, getting underneath, and still getting that shot off very, very close to the cage, and that's a big save there for Prior Lake.
Yeah, another kid I've coached quite a bit, Jack Moran for Rosemount. He's going to NCC, which is in the Illinois area as well.
There it is.
And along with a couple of Prior Lake guys are committed there as well. Was that Jung?
That's Ben Jung, number 9.
Scoring for the Lakers.
Getting to the middle of the field, getting his hands free, and making something happen. You got to love that. We were just talking about his athleticism, and more so on the defensive end, but, you know, kind of a little bit of a transition there, number situation, and he just shows that burst and gets to a good spot there and makes it happen. So really nice take there. Man, as soon as I got on the headset, a lot of Lewis goals happening here. Should have put me on in the first quarter.
So that puts Prior Lake up 7-4. Hopefully that'll at least slow the bleeding, give them a little momentum, and it puts them on the man up as Jung drew a penalty earlier on that play, slashing penalty. So that'll put them up for 1 minute.
Man up face here for Prior Lake. They haven't been great at the X, but there they are taking advantage of that 3-on-2 there, getting possession, getting their guys on. And, this is one of those moments that we talked about, right? Rosemount gets the goal disallowed. Prior Lake comes back and scores one. You get one here on the man up, and now you really stretch this thing, back to 4, get a little bit more comfort going into that fourth quarter, whereas Rosemount's really kind of tightened things up here in the third.
And Prior Lake, like you said, hasn't won a ton of face-offs, but
And there it is.
yeah, there we go. They just forced a GB on that face-off, and they had a man-up face-off. So if they just tie him up, force a GB, I like their odds there.
Yeah, the man down there, you really always want to have a ball left, right, and you see they take the guy at X, and he's covered with the ball, but they don't have a left there, and that's just one adjacent pass and a step down. And to be completely honest, that's a defensive coordinator's nightmare. You want to make them work a little bit harder for that, make multiple passes, multiple rotations. That one pass and a shot, that's stuff that Coach Ancona and Coach Kuhn are going to be pretty frustrated with when they look at the film after this.
And that was number 14, Will Gilbert, putting the Lakers up 8-4. I think that was his second goal of the game. Another versatile junior for the Lakers. He scored lefty down the alley. There, a nice righty bounce. Kind of looked like his goal from last Saturday against Benilde.
Another big face-off win here for Prior Lake.
Yeah, kind of see the momentum starting to swing.
Absolutely. That's Brian Kahlberg, the Lindenwood commit there.
Yeah, he's
picking
legit.
up a tough GB. Yeah, kid's got a motor. He can play down low. He can play between the lines. That's a big ground ball, a momentum shift here, short time in under 10 seconds. I think one here would be big for Prior Lake. Really answering.
Got only 7 seconds. Looking to push the
Go
net
through
quickly
X.
here.
They look inside. Rosemount does but they draw a flag late. That is going to be a tough way to start the fourth quarter. Man down. I didn't see anything too crazy there, but
I saw a slash hit the shoulder.
Okay.
Yes, maybe it was a slash technically.
right.
But I wouldn't have called it. But multiple flags were flying.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. Must have saw something down there. So it looks like Prior Lake's going to start man up in this fourth, and they hold an 8-4 lead.
I feel like they call it relatively tight. There's been flags both teams, so add that to the mix. And
No, I think the officials have done a pretty good job of calling it both ways and keeping control of this game and calling it fair and calling it how they see it, and I think that's all you can ask for is to be consistent. So it'll be interesting for me. I really think a lot of this game has been about the face-off. Like a lot of runs. It really feels like one team will win 4 or 5 in a row, then the next team wins 4 or 5 in a row, and it hasn't necessarily been a dominant draw guy. It's kind of been by committee. Some of the wings getting involved, some short sticks picking up some tough GBs, some LSMs making some plays there. So for me, some of the runs in this game and some of the momentum has really kind of been coupled by the face-off. Once somebody gets a couple going, they start winning a couple there, and that's why we've seen this kind of back-and-forth action. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how that plays a role going into the fourth here. I think if you're winning face-offs, you're probably, the way this game's going, you're probably scoring some goals and making some things happen.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Prior Lake, their face-off guy, their starters, kind of, he's out right now with injury. So they're kind of rolling with their backup. So they've really been doing it by committee this year so far. And they've been double polling quite a bit. So
And give the kid credit; he's been battling there, and
Oh, yeah.
it's been kind of fun to watch. It's just you kind of never know what you're going to get there tonight at the X.
And start of the fourth quarter, 8-4 Lakers. They're going to start this quarter on the man up as there was a late late flag down for a slash on Rosemount. Prior Lake run a little wheel play, but Rosemount really laying lumber, setting the pressure all over the field so far in this man down.
Their sticks are in lanes. They're talking.
There hasn't been an easy look yet on this man up for Prior Lake. Oh, nice one more. Outside shot wide, and I don't. Yep, no backup. They're going to give it a great hustle play by the Rosemounts goaltender Landon Marigold.
Yeah, it's a great hustle play. You know, you hate to see that as the Prior Lake coach there. I'm sure Coach Methune is frustrated when you don't have shot backup, especially coming off of a man up. You know, you want to get your regular kind of 6-on-6 offense set there, or make any personnel changes, and, you know, they don't get the possession there. And Rosemont really got and they throw it right away in the clear, and Prior Lake's got numbers. Let's see if they slow it down or attack. Looks like they're going to settle up here and sub it up and go 6-on-6.
Looks like they got 3 short sticks.
Yeah, you love to see that.
Stock. So yeah, as Prior Lake right now, you gotta love that. There's gonna be matchups all over the field that you might want to expose.
We call this pick your poison. Take who you want.
Yeah. Nice skip pass to Luke Blado.
Wow.
Good look outside. Good
You eat
save.
that.
And kind of flipped out. I don't know if that's going to be ruled a pass or they're going to say somebody was pushed. It's going to go Rosemount ball.
Not sure if I agree with that.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah,
but
I'm not sure what we're calling. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna go Rosemount. I'm counting 7.
Uh-oh. On who?
No.
2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 3. Yep, I think you might be on
So
something.
there's gonna be a flag down here at some point if the refs can figure it out.
Yeah.
And
They might be able to get,
Yep. Okay, we got him for it. So too many men on the field there for Prior Lake.
Yeah.
Rosemont looking to take advantage on the man up here, and you know, if you're Coach Kuhn, you really want to kind of let's go to your bread and butter, one you really like. You know, whatever your man up play or whatever you really like is you really need one here. Cutting the lead to 8-5. You still got 9 or so minutes to go. So this is one that I think if you want to come back and you really need to capitalize on this opportunity.
Yeah, just over 9.5 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Prior Lake up 8-4.
Yeah, they come out. Looks like they're going to be in the 3-3 here. We'll see if they got something drawn up or if they're just going to kind of play out of it. So sitting in that 3-3, we do get a little bit of emotion here on the left-hand side.
They ran a wheel play earlier.
Same thing on the right-hand side here.
Settle for an outside shot. Easy save by Colin Nowards. But now everyone's battling for a ground ball. Get a hold by Rosemount. Maybe a gimme call for that push over here. I don't know. I didn't see anything.
Yeah, it's tough when you're getting a play on there when it looks like they had numbers to the ball there.
Don't love that force. But little BTB.
Typically don't want to save it in your DN, but a BTB to A little pass there, and they get a shot in transition, but no backup. It's going to be Prior Lake ball.
A few sloppy plays here by both teams. I think both teams just want to settle this down, get a possession, and Prior Lake on the clear, getting late in the clear, probably starting to worry about that. Get it over the midline, but pushed out of bounds. Sloppiness continues. Rosemount on the clear. Prior Lake sending pressure where they can, but we got 4 back. And pass goes over the head, so Prior Lake back on the clear now, and turnovers by both teams for the last few possessions. Prior Lake starts working around.
Yeah, I think if you're Prior Lake here, you really just want to take your time and just make sure you get a great look.
Yeah.
No need to rush it. Time's on your side. It keeps winding down here. You know, I think you just really want to no more forces inside. You know, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Let's keep it simple and really find one we like. I think that they've had a lot of success, to be honest, more with the isolation dodges. Like I said, Rosemount playing kind of packed in there, and it's tough. You know, the recoveries are short, the slides are short, the lanes aren't there, the creases are covered. So sometimes you're so close to the cage because of how packed in they are.
Yeah.
You know, you really want to kind of probe. And, you know, look, they're not getting jams until, 10 yards there, 15 yards.
Another big save by the Rosemount goaltender.
So, again, we see a pretty good look there off an isolation dodge because, not really getting engaged, not really getting contact until kind of that 13, 14-yard area.
Flags are flying. Another one flies. That was...
The wheels are coming off here.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate because that's a really good 2-slide. That's really good help defense. Just too aggressive there and kind of blows them up. And then, man, these flags are flying left and right.
Yeah, someone must be talking or chirping. Prior Lake's going to be up by at least 2 guys. High hit on the first call, and a slash to the head, or just a slashing call on the second one. Saw a third flag. I'm assume it's some sort of conduct.
Yeah, typically when you see it after the play, somebody's talking or doing something they shouldn't be. So likely a conduct foul there, and I think we're going to be 6-on-4 here.
Yep, looks to be 6-on-4 Prior Lake. On the power play, 6:20 left in the 4th quarter. Just waiting for flags to be picked up and the field to be set.
Big save.
Yeah.
Landon Marigold again. Big save inside and a man-down situation. Rosemount wants to clear this here.
They just kind of send it as they're down 2 guys. They just need to kill time. Prior Lake should be able to clear easily as they're up a couple of guys. Nice. Luke Blado to Nathan Whittier on the transition. Luke Blado, we've said his name a few times. I think he has a goal, a couple assists. Nate Whittier, the nice finish there. Gets a pump fake, low, buries it high. Not much the goalie can do there. He's had some great saves tonight, keeping Rosemount in this game. But it's one-on-one with the goalie, not much you can do.
Yeah, it all started with that really nice hitch upfield, coming to meet the ball, freezing his defender a little bit, getting to where the grass is a little bit greener, as we like to say, and drawing that attention and really opened that lane up for that one more and that easy finish on the backside.
Scoring for the Lakers, number 25, Nate Whittier.
Riley Bester with a nice tie-up. Face-off went back, and Kahlberg with the GB.
Yeah, that's tough. You give up the goal, and like we've been saying all game, it seems like whoever scored the last goal gets that next face-off, keeps momentum on their side, keeps possession on their side. Again, no shot clock here in the high school game, so you really do control so much time and possession here, and they look for numbers there and don't get it done.
Yeah, Nauertz with a nice clear, and Prior Lake tries to push quickly off of that first time mishandle, but now they got a second time. Connor Miller, the junior, has been great on D-mid this year. Has been getting looks on O as well, and he buries his first chance.
Number 15, Connor Miller, assisted by number 11, Jack Smith.
Yeah, Jack Smith with the apple there. Nice one more. Simple play.
A couple of the young guys, juniors and sophomores, making plays there.
Yeah, and it's really starting to, if you recall halftime, 6-0, and it seems like Rosemount really came out battling and throwing haymakers, so to speak. But here we are 5 minutes to go, and it's 10-4, and Prior Lake's kind of clawed back to that 6-goal lead.
Prior Lake getting their last sub on right before we can start this face-off. 10-4, 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Rosemount looking to make that last push here. They need to win this face, and there's time, but they got to be quick.
Yeah, they got to start having some bounces go their ways here. It starts right here with the face-off, and they run right through it and get possession. Wow.
Great check by Lucas Gratz, our LSM. And he gets off for the short sticks as we're on the clear. Pass way over the head of Patrick Jewell.
Yeah, if you're Rosemount here, you got to get something going. And I don't hate the call by Coach Kuhn here. Call timeout, I believe, and
Rally the troops.
yeah, get organized, take a breath, draw something up, start getting momentum on your side. It hasn't been going hot in the past, really kind of 4 minutes as Prior Lake's kind of extended their lead. So just kind of regroup, get on the same page, take a deep breath, and it's tough, but you just need one, and if you can build off that, you can start something, then great. But you can't try to get all 6 back on one shot or one possession.
So how long are you in town for?
Just a quick trip. Came in, drove in today. Got to see a little bit of the Minnetonka game. Went over a little bit to Benilde, checked them out against Chanhassen, and then shot down here. So it's tough. A lot of really good teams in the area, and it seems like they all play at the same time.
Yeah.
But I did the best I could, kind of running around and seeing some guys that we're looking at in 2020, seeing some guys that are committed to us in 2019, and also just kind of seeing what catches our eye along the way. So
Very cool.
yeah, it's a quick trip, but I think that's why we like recruiting this area, is that it's a one-day trip, and that's Luke Majewski, another Lewis Flyers.
All right.
Stepping in with a left-handed step down there from about 14 yards.
Yeah.
That one was from pretty deep there, and looks like he felt pretty good about it.
That was a great take by him. How were some of those other games you checked? Any find any gems?
Yeah, I think Tonka was up pretty big when I left. I believe they're up on what is that? There like 7-3 when I left at half,
Okay.
and Benilde and Chanhassen was tight. I'd be interested to see. I bet you that score's gone final. That was a 7 p.m. start.
Okay.
I'd be interested to see what that final was, because there was good energy there and good compete level, and pretty even, I believe, like 2-2 start
Okay.
when I got out of there. So, and I think that's what we like about this area, is just a lot of competitive lacrosse and, not necessarily that one or two teams to beat, but really, kind of a deeper field of a lot of quality here that these teams really especially this year,
Yeah.
seems to really kind of beat each other up.
Yeah, the top 5 to 10. There's been a ton of parity. Everyone's beating each
Right.
other right now. So, yeah, it's been an interesting year.
Prior Lake with the clear here, and I think they do the right thing by not really trying to press the numbers there, understanding the situation, understanding the score, the time in the game, and kind of settling this, subbing their guys, getting their personnel on, milking some clock here.
And again, yeah, there wasn't a great look right away, so pulling it out, finishing up their subs now, and working it around. We got, looks like to be Ben Jung. Couldn't see the number. Oh, that would have been a nice look.
You don't get too many of those in the game.
No.
Looks like he got a little excited there. Started pulling the trigger before it was loaded.
Luke Plato again, getting with the dodge, gets underneath, draws the slide.
Yeah, doing kind of what we thought here. Milking the clock. There's the stall warning. Not used to seeing that anymore.
Yeah.
Kind of feed the crease there, turnover. Rosemount takes possession here.
Probably getting aggressive right away early in this ride. The Poles are forcing the turnover this time.
Yeah, turnover Rosemount there. They look a little tired. And another turnover. Prior Lake on that one.
Just under 2 minutes left in this game. Lakers up 10-5. Oh.
Tommy Purefierce trying to dice up a little bit back there at X. Throws the skip. Prior Lake sticks in lanes, being very active there, gets a piece.
Rosemount playing fast, working this ball around. They get a look from Moran. I think that dinged pipe. Both teams battling for this ground ball.
Moran's face dodge is lethal. He's shown that quite a few times today, being able to protect his stick and get under, and that is quick, powerful, and explosive. Jarred loose. Rosemount going to keep it here.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Getting a lot of pressure, though. It's going to be off Gray.
Grass, it's staying in.
Tries to hockey it to himself, but Rosemount contains it.
It's a good man ball there by Rosemount. And a good man ball there by Prior Lake.
Oh, yeah. Sending the double.
Oh, throw it away.
Not letting Tom. Oh, it's a. Thought he was on the swim team diving there, but.
It's getting late. We're under a minute here, and it's getting a little sloppy.
A little sloppy, a little chippy.
Excellent double team right there.
Yeah.
Great slide, but oh.
I don't know about that.
That is tough. Got the hold call there. Really nice awareness, really nice instinctive play, but they get him for the hold there.
What are they going to call? They're going to talk about it. There's not a. They're going to call crease on Thomas Perfest. That's
I don't know. I'm trying to not be a homer here.
Yeah.
I thought it's tough to see where that crease line is, especially
Yeah.
honestly right there. And
Yeah. It was
you
a
know,
great play nonetheless.
I think the thing with the crease calls for me is like I want to see a decisive call.
Yeah.
You know, when the ref goes and talks it over for 7 seconds, it's like you were right there. You know,
Yeah.
make the call, be decisive about it. And I think as a fan of the game, when it's not decisive, you know, it's tough. But we're closing down the last 10 seconds here, and that's going to be it. 10-5, Prior Lake going to be your final here.
All right, Laker Nation. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining
Appreciate you having me on.
our stream.
Yeah.
Looking forward to Thursday. We play Apple Valley at home. 7:30 face-off. Big PLAY night. Should have a bunch of kids there. Alumni night as well. And then Saturday we finish a 3-game week at Matamidi. Again, a 7:30 game. 7, sorry. I'm getting corrected by my staff. No, I'm just kidding. Mr. Jung correcting me. 7 o'clock game against Matamidi. Couple great games these last couple of weeks. Bunch of games, 4 last week, 3 this week. So looking forward to being back with you guys later this week. Have a good rest of your night. Thanks for tuning in.